Nicci, look, in these COVID days, whether it's in hospital or aged care, these telepresence robots that you sell, tell me, what does it achieve for the community? What does it achieve for the doctor and the patient?
Victor, like this is where these telepresence robots come into their own. Doctors use these, they drive up to the patient, they don't have a mask on, they don't have layers and layers of clothing on that they need to protect themselves from any viruses going around. They can go straight up to the patient's bed and have a conversation with them. And I imagine if you're that ill and you're lying there and your doctor comes with all this stuff and you can hardly hear the guy talk to you, how cool is it that the robot can come straight up to your bed and talk to you, and then you can engage and tell the doctor how you're feeling?
Fantastic. And look, when I heard you speak last year, I thought one of the inspiring things was, what these telepresence robots can do for an elderly person who might be, in a village and away from family. Tell us, how does it work? How does it improve the lives of those elderly people?
Victor, you know about loneliness and isolation and the effect that this has on people. So where these telepresence robots come into their own in aged care facilities is if I'm living in Melbourne and my mom's living in Sydney and I can't see her on a daily basis. So we actually do have these telepresence robots in aged care facilities now in Australia, and they're trialing them to see how effectively they work. And I'm highly optimistic because I've seen it all over the world, how well people connect with each other with these telepresence robots.
One of the stories I've heard you tell is about children who are stuck at home because of an injury or an illness and can't go to their ordinary classroom, and yet can stay in their same school. Do you want to share a story about how those robots work and how they work for the kid?
Yeah, sure. Like one of our clients in Melbourne, one of the kids there he had leukemia and couldn't attend school. So they bought a telepresence robot for him. So wherever he was, whether he was at home or in hospital or wherever he was when he was not at school, he could dial into school, attend school, and catch up with his friends, which this is the most important. Academics is important, no doubt about it, but it's our sense of community, our tribe that we're seeing. And the kids, like they just view this is a guy that is in telepresence. This is his robot. He's here today. There's actually an organization called Missing in School that actually specializes in this, and fabulous stories about the work that they're doing. I just, look, again, I can go on and on about how great my telepresence robots are and the work that they're doing out there, many case studies.
And look, obviously, we're inundated with nightmares about robots, and got to go back to my childhood and Lost in Space and, the robot and Dr. Smith. And but tell us, what's your vision, just looking 3, 4, 5 years away? We've got 5G and 6G coming. What are these robots going to look like, and what are they going to be doing for us?
I think the adoption rate of robotics is generally going to be more, like especially with 5G and the connectivity that we've got available. But if you're looking at my robots, if you're looking at drones, dropping off medicine, whether it's going in and assessing fires, whether it's going in underwater and doing work on the reefs, like just immense good that we can do with these robots.
Fantastic. And look, I've asked you this before, but it never hurts to ask again. Nicci, you are so infectiously optimistic. What makes you optimistic?
Victor, I think what makes me optimistic is my philosophy on life, that all things come and go. Like, don't get too attached to situations, but in particular with the technology that I'm working with, I think we're in for such a bright future. If we've got such bright minds and people working on technology today, I just can't wait to see what's going to happen in the next 2 or 3 years.
Well, you are going to be my guru as we move forward, Nicci, because having heard you speak now on a number of occasions, you capture the vision, but it's so immensely practical. When I hear about a kid, with leukemia using a telepresence robot, to hang out with the friends or go to class, or you know, the ability in an infectious diseases hospital, you know, for communication between patient and doctor in the easiest possible way. It's inspiring. So, Nicci, really looking forward to you joining us at AWISE, and all strength to your arm. You're fantastic.
Thank you very much, Victor, and I look forward to chatting.
Listening to you, Nicci, it's really inspirational to hear your passion about your job and what you do. There's so much potential to improve lives.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's great. You know, people say, oh, working in technology, you know, wrecking the world. No, there are people who need these things, and there's a lot worse things you could be doing than helping all these people. So that's great.
Listen, Guy, it always boils down to what is your intention? Is your intention to make a difference for good or evil? So, you know, like that's quite important. And are you leaving the world in a better state today? What's your one contribution that you've made today that you can go, actually, I've done my little bit? And if we all just did one little thing, then imagine where we could be.